If it ain't another day with the fresh and funky man himself, motherfucking man, aka Do Scripts, aka Funky Fresh, aka Kung Fu Kick You in the motherfucking face, aka Put Your Bitch Ass in motherfucking place, aka Suck Your Soul from your body like Sung Tu Soul in Mortal Kombat. Welcome to the Fresh and Funky Show on motherfucking Tuesday. It's going down on a Tuesday, like it always goes down. Not in the DMs here because nobody wants to be in the DMs. Everybody's out here just stone cold chilling. You know what I mean? Stone cold pilling, stone cold chilling. You know, for those of you who don't understand, that's a little bit of lingo. A little bit of street lingo. You know, street MC knowledge. Dropping them on. Dropping bombs. Like Funk Master Flex. Rest in peace, motherfucking K Slade, the drama fucking king, the motherfucking street sweeper. Street sweeping your ass all the way out. There'll be no duplicates to the motherfucking K Slade and the mixtape game. If you don't understand what motherfucking mixtapes are, then I'm not talking to you and I'm not talking about you. Okay? So we had Monday Night Football. Let's review it. Let's just get it right into it right now. Monday Night Football. We thought, everybody thought. Let's just keep it real. Let's keep it real and honest. A lot of people thought the Bears were just going to get their butts whipped against the Patriots last night. Well, that was not the case in that game last night. Justin Fields actually looked like a fucking quarterback. Okay, they lost their center in that game, but the line protected him so well. He was able to make some good reads down the field and hit some big plays. But obviously, it was the running game. Obviously, with the combination of Fields, Khalil Herbert, and the main man, David Montgomery. All right. So, and the defense, that defense, they might not be known, and they might only have two guys well known on that defense right now. That would be Robert Quinn, and that would be Roquan Smith. So that defense is playing within itself, trying to give the team a shot and try to give the offense a chance to put up points. So that way, they get the stops. The offense puts up the points. And my point to the Patriots was, hey man, they played well in that first half, but the second half it was just a whole different thing. I think towards the end when Justin Fields hit Khalil Herbert for that touchdown, I think that really swung momentum, getting the ball to start the second half as well. It just it just didn't bode very well here. That just bode very well for the Patriots. And quarterback controversy, I don't know. I think Mac Jones just came back from injury, didn't have a really good game, and so they thought, well, let's just turn it over to Bailey Zappi. He's been really running the offense, and it worked for the first half. But the second half, Bailey Zappi wasn't really as efficient as he was in the first half. And I don't think if they would have switched back to Mac Jones that it would have changed anything. I don't know. Maybe they got to revisit it this weekend because the Patriots and the Jets, divisional game does commence this Sunday. so so we'll see here. We will see. We'll see what happens with that game. But the Bears came out victorious, took care of business on the road, and now the Bears got to move on and go on the road again and play Big D, Big Dallas, that is. So that will be an interesting game. We'll talk about that a little bit later here. Um, we'll talk about let's get into parlays that we did last night. Let's get into that here. Um, we did not take the Monday Night Football game, but my play yesterday, if you go back to the video, I said the over 40 points was my play in that game. That was my play. So go back to that and you could double check my resume and my record because my record stands for itself. I'm out here putting my record on the line and giving people bets and thinking and plays and bets and this and that. Not saying that you necessarily have to bet me. I like a lot of times, like I tell my mom, my sister, you better fade me because most of the time I could be right a quarter of a million times, but a lot of times I'll be wrong. There's a lot of picks if you go back and check my record of saying my picks and overalls of what I plays and all this and that. You can check the games that I won and the bad. Obviously I took some, you know, high risk bets. I don't want to say bad bets. Obviously if you're taking a bad bet is like basically betting on a team that you know is gonna win, that should win, and they ultimately got their shit pushed in, and then that's a bad bet right there. Or you bet on a team and that team does not cover, and then you get hosed at the last minute because that team gives up a bucket or a yard or whatever. Kind of like my fantasy football this week. I got screwed because this jackass that was playing, I don't know, I was beating him, and then somehow miraculously this morning he wins by 2 points. But whatever, it is what it is. I should have put Isaiah Pacheco in, and there would have been no fucking even no ifs ands buts about it. We would have won and be we would have 500 here, but now we're under 500 now in that team. We could have beat the best team there, just like in the other league. That we could have beat the 5-1 team here, but we didn't. But it's all right. It's okay. We've been down this road before. We like to have some teams that we know that we have good teams, and then we have teams that we got to build up here. This is the time where we're gonna tinker. We're gonna have to tinker a bit here, and weather the storm a bit, and try to get back on the winning track here. Try to get on a winning streak if I can. Get on some pull off a 3 or 4 game winning streak like the New York Giants and the New York Jets are on right now. So, needless to say, let's talk about last night's parlays, shall we? I took the under 229 points in the Pacers and 76ers. I took the under 222 and a half points in the Magic and Knicks. I took the Miami Heat to win by 3.5. I took the under 234 and a half between the Spurs and the Timberwolves. I took the Houston Rockets money line. I took the under 234 points, and I took the Pittsburgh Penguins on the money line. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we did not cash the parlay, but I'll tell you which ones did. The under 229 points between the Pacers and the 76ers, that cashed. The under 222 and a half between the Magic and the Knicks, that cashed. The Miami Heat minus 3.5 on the point spread, that did not cash. The Miami Heat lost by 8 points. And the under 234 and a half between the the Spurs and the T-Wolves. The Spurs outright won, but it did go under. And the Houston Rockets outright got their first victory here and beating and putting the first loss to the Utah Jazz here. So that was plus 111 yesterday. That was definitely a hit. I should have did it. And also the Chicago Bulls won, but we took that money line out of there. If you noticed yesterday when I was talking about my plays, I did say the Bulls. I was gonna be chicken shit, put them in the parlay, but I chicken shit it out again, and I could have won some money. But the under 234 points between the Nets and the Grizzlies, that went over. It went like 250 or something like that. And the Pittsburgh Penguins, I believe the Pittsburgh Penguins lost. Let me go double check here. If I'm not mistaken, when I was looking at them yesterday, they were not doing good. They were not doing so well. So we're gonna go look at yesterday's games here and see what had transpired. Yes, they did lose 6-3 here to the Edmonton Oilers here. All right, so yeah, yesterday definitely was a lot of underdogs. Underdogs were definitely barking yesterday, barking in NHL and NBA and even in the football game. The Bears were dogs, so I mean the dogs were really barking. They were howling. They were howling. So needless to say, now we've got to put that there. So we took L there. So that's 1, 2, 3. We took 3 losses and we had 4 wins. So we were 4-3 here out of the 7-leg parlay here. We won 4 of them, but we also ultimately lost 3. That killed it. And we had a, player bet prop parlay, but it lost because Franz Wagner did not hit one more 3-pointer, and also what was his name? Josh Josh Primo didn't have over. He didn't have over 3.5 assists or something like that. I think it was. It was something like that. So did not win. So it was L. All right. So we've been doing all right here as far as basketball here. We've been trying to pick some, you know. So in our early game, we did really well in the NFL the early game. So all right. So now we're going to I'm gonna just basically do this where I only have my bet from yesterday. Oh yeah, we did a lot better. We were 3-4 on Monday, and then we went 4-3 yesterday. So this is the win. Oh yeah, it's my winning prop one here. So I want to keep that one there, and we'll keep that one there. We like to keep the winning prop ones up here. But we got today here. Today we got NBA and we have NHL. So that's basically what we are we're tied to today here. So we're tied to the NHL. So seems that we're already in there because we were checking that game here. We have a full slate. It's a full 10 teams, 10 teams or 10 games here. So we have the Dallas Stars that are 4-1-1 taking on the 5-1 Boston Bruins. So that's gonna be a good. It's gonna be a good one. The puck drops at 7 Eastern here, 4 Pacific. So that's gonna be a good. We have the New Jersey Devils 3-3 against the 3-0-2 Detroit Red Wings here. So that'll be an interesting matchup. You have the Wild that is 1-3-1 versus the 3-3 Canadians. So interesting matchup for the Canadians against the Wild there. Then you have the Coyotes that are 1-4 against the 3-4 Columbus Blue Jackets. So and really good battle. Another good battle here on the ice. Here we got the Colorado Avalanche that are 3-2-1 taking on the Rangers that are 3-2-1. So a game to watch on the ice if you're down. And we got the Florida Panthers are 4-1-1 taking on the 3-2 Chicago Blackhawks here. That will be another great game. Then we got the Penguins. They're playing double duty here, back to back here. They're 4-1-1. They're taking on the 4-1 Calgary Flames here. So can Canada make it 2-0 against the Pittsburgh Penguins here? I don't know. Remain to see. It would definitely be a good game there at obviously we got 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific here. Then we have the 4-1 Buffalo Sabres taking on the 2-3-2 Seattle Kraken. Then we have the 3-3 Tampa Bay Lightning versus 3-4 Los Angeles Kings. And we have the 5-2 Golden Knights taking on the 2-6 San Jose Sharks here. The Sharky has not been good on the ice. Let's just say that. All right, we got NBA, of course, tonight here as well. We have the Detroit Pistons taking on the Washington Wizards. Wizards are 2-1. The Pistons are 1-2. That's a battle of the young teams here, the young up and coming teams. Here, two teams that possibly have a really good chance to make the playoff playing game here at least. Let's see. New Orleans, the Pelicans come home tonight. They're 2-1, taking on the 1-1 Mavericks, but there's a lot of injuries. There'll be no Zion Williams tonight. There'll be no Brandon Ingram, no Herb, Jones. They're all out for the Pelicans. There will be CJ McCollum and also Jose Alvarado. And there's also, yeah, Eunice Valanciunas here. So, um, but uh, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Luka and all them are going to be playing. So it's going to be interesting here to see how the Pelicans. That game will be on TNT tonight. They'll be on at let's see, what about six Central Time, 4:30 Eastern, 7:30 uh East Coast time here. So then we got the Los Angeles Clippers. They're 2-1, taking on the 0-3 Oklahoma City Thunder here. So Thunder, another team that has not gotten a win here. They're 0 for here. So the Rockets got their first win last night. So do the Oklahoma City Thunder get it tonight? I don't know. They got Josh Giddey is out. So I mean, they've already no Chet Holmgren. So I mean, and probably the game of the night here is going to be the 2-1 Golden State Warriors taking on the 2-1 Phoenix Suns. That game will be in the Valley of the Sun in Phoenix, Arizona tonight. So definitely going to have a lot of all-star firepower in that game. Obviously Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and obviously you got Steph Curry, you got Klay Thompson, you got Draymond Green, you got Andrew Wiggins, you got Jordan Poole now. I mean, you got some, but then the Phoenix, they got Mikal Bridges. I mean, DeAndre Eaton. Word on the street is DeAndre Eaton and Monte Williams do not like each other. So I mean, I know they wanted to bring him back, but maybe the best thing would have been was let him go and just try to get another. So, so, those are the games right now. Those are the games here tonight. Obviously, there's no NFL. There's no college football. College basketball will be coming soon here. College men and women's college basketball will be coming here very shortly. So we're excited about that here. That's getting some headlines. Yesterday, obviously, the Jacksonville Jaguars made a trade with the Jets here. Jets needing a running back, so they traded James Robinson for a conditional sixth-round pick, but that can change obviously if James Robinson obviously plays really well and obviously earns himself a starting spot next to Michael Carter, Michael Carter the second. So that's being reported there. I mean, I mean, football is going pretty well. I mean, obviously there was a controversy between some they thought some ref was asking for Mike Evans' autograph at the end of the game. Tried to call for Mike Evans, and I guess it's all cleared up now. I guess there was no type of things of that nature. Um, Obviously, basketball news. Talk about WNBA. Brittany Griner, she again lost an appeal in the Russian court, and kind of now is basically doesn't have any options to get released here. So I don't know. Brittany Griner might be in there for the long haul for 10 years. I don't know, 5 or 10 years. I'm assuming. I don't know what the. But I mean that's not good. But I mean it should tell you that as an American you don't have a sense of entitlement to go anywhere else in the world and expect people to and in some ways is she a political pawn in this war between Russia, Ukraine, United States, NATO shit. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, she could be just being used as a high profile, person. But there's also another, Americanized person over there that's been there longer than she has, and he got caught with the same shit. He got caught with weed and this and that nature. But you can't be going around other countries that don't, let's just say they frown upon marijuana. They look at it as a bad drug, okay? And so some countries, you get put to death, like in I think it's Singapore or the Philippines, I believe. You get caught with some drugs and stuff like that. You get fucking caned and all this other crazy shit. I mean, I know I'm digressing, but I'm kind of going, with the Brittany Griner topic here. It's just, you know, you have to understand if you're an American, the American things that can't apply to you, and you're not bigger than the laws, and you're not bigger than whatever, and sometimes we have to have better judgment, and I mean, I know everybody makes a mistake, and maybe she did make a mistake, but at the end of the day, some mistakes can cost you your life and everything, and obviously this one is costing Brittany Griner a whole hell of a lot, not just her basketball career, her life, and everybody's trying to come to bat and everything else, but I think, I don't know. I think, like said, I don't know if it's politicalness, but I think they just kind of want to, you know. But some people are going to make it that way, and then I'm surprised you don't have an outcry from those, So, so Jalen Brown is sticking with Kanye West's agency, despite Kanye West apparently had some anti-Semitic comments. I'm not going to go into them. Kanye West to me is another guy. He's just, I don't know. Does he just say things because he really believes them, or is he just saying shit because he's not a genius? He's just some crazy babbling man, just going out. I mean, I say crazy things all the time. Nobody's putting me on the front pages of tabloids and saying, "Look at this crazy man." Look at this crazy man and his outrageous takes, and what he says about these people, that people, this person, that, and that. But I understand. Kanye, wants to say things, but sometimes you have to use better judgment in saying things, because then those things can come back to really, really put you in a bad situation, and really, really hurt you and make you look like you're some type of person. I'm not going into saying whether Kanye is a or not. I don't think he is, but some people have what's called preference, or there's prejudice. I mean, people kind of forget, the whole thing's lost in the whole racism thing. There's prejudice. Some people are just prejudiced to a certain degree. They're just prejudiced towards a certain color. It doesn't mean that they hate that. They're just prejudiced because of the way that they believe the treatment, or whatever the case may be. I'm not sitting here trying to argue points or try to argue for or against him. I'm just trying to say this is my coming to understanding of the situation here. And then Ben Simmons calls out referees after fouling out versus the Grizzlies last night. Not a very good call. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver says the league is monitoring tanking. It's a serious issue. I mean, look, I don't think teams purposely tank, but I think, once a team knows they're kind of down, and they don't have a competitive team. I think they just kind of just go to, let's just try to get as many seats as we can. Try to be as competitive as we can, even though we might not be as competitive as we can. But if we win, we win. If we lose, oh well, we can get in the draft lottery. I mean, it's the same thing in football. I think, certain teams, do they do it on purpose, or are they just doing it because there's no other choice? There's no other choice of the matter. They can't just go out and get somebody. They just have to do whatever they have, and whatever they have isn't going to win them much of anything, honestly. So let's just leave it at that. All right, let's go to college football here. We're gonna run down the rankings here. Let's run down the top 25 rankings here, and let you know who are the top 25 teams this week. Let you know if there's maybe a team that got knocked out of the top 25, or teams that have moved up positions. So, Obviously, Georgia has stayed number one. Ohio State has stayed number two. Tennessee stayed number three. Michigan stayed number four. Clemson stayed number five by obviously only winning by 6 against Syracuse. Then you had Alabama taking care of business against Mississippi State, winning 30-6. TCU winning by 10 at Kansas State here, staying undefeated, staying at number 7. Oregon moved up 2 spots after beating UCLA here, number 8. Then we have Oklahoma State here after they beat Texas here. They got to play Kansas State here, who basically lost at home here to TCU. So I don't know, do they lose twice in a row at home against formidable foes here in the Big 12 here? Then number 10 is USC here. They moved up 2 spots. Wake Forest has actually moved in a tie with them. Wake Forest and the Trojans, but I think the Trojans definitely have that there. Then you have so one of them is going to be. We'll just say for matters of sake that Wake Forest is number 11 here, and UCLA is number 10 because of strength of schedule. And then number 12 would be UCLA here, who lost to Oregon but got Stanford at home. So then we got number 13, Penn State here. They got a big game against Ohio State, number 2, so they can definitely jump up their ranking here. You had Utah, number 14 here. They moved up to number 14 after getting basically a 1-point victory, and they didn't play last week, so they play this Thursday at Washington State here. So it should be a good game Thursday night in the Pac-12 of 2 good teams, 2 solid teams that definitely going to make bowl games, bowl appearances here. And then we have Ole Miss. Ole Miss dropped 8 spots here, so they dropped from number 7 all the way to number 15 now here. They got Texas A&M on the road here, so it doesn't get any easier. Syracuse dropped 2 spots after losing to Clemson here. They play at home against Notre Dame. We got Illinois moves up a spot here after taking care of business against Minnesota. LSU's got to play. LSU is not playing this week here. They're playing next Saturday and they'll be hosting Alabama here. So number 19 is playing this week. That's Kentucky. They're playing at number 3 Tennessee here. So that will be a big game here. It'll be a night game here, a night game in Knoxville here. Then we have Cincinnati at the number 20 spot. They moved up 1 spot here. They got Central Florida here this coming Saturday afternoon. We got number 21, North Carolina. They didn't play, so they play Pitt this weekend. Number 22, so they fell from number 17 to number 22. Kansas State did here. And like I said, they host Oklahoma State, so another big game for them. You got number 23, Tulane has moved up 2 spots here as they ended up handling Memphis. Now they got to play Tulsa early Saturday afternoon. Then we got number 24, North Carolina State. They fell 1 spot here, but they have to play Thursday at home against Virginia Tech. Should be a solid game there. And squeaking into the top 25 right now is the South Carolina Gamecocks here with a 5-2 record here. They got to play Missouri here. So that is your top 25 here. And I wrote down some games. Let's go through some games that I want to kind of talk about here just a little bit here. Kind of the games I'm looking forward to watching this Saturday here. Obviously, Ohio State, Penn State here. Penn State right now is a 16-point underdog here, and the over-under is 61.5 points. I like the Syracuse and Notre Dame game. I think this is going to be a really good game here. It's a game for Syracuse to prove that they can get back on their winning ways, or Notre Dame to have a big victory on the resume for the young coach there. So, but they are playing in Syracuse, and Syracuse is minus favorite by 3 at home, and the over/under is 48 points there. We got the Florida Georgia line, and I don't mean the band. I mean the Florida Georgia, the Bulldogs and the Gators here. They're meeting in Georgia here in the hedges here. Georgia Georgia to win by 25 points right now here, and over under 57. Florida has not had the best season so far, and I mean I don't know if they're gonna be able to be competitive enough to take down Georgia. Maybe early they might be competitive, but I don't know. Late it might be a tough one for them. Oklahoma State, that Kansas State game, I believe, it's going to be tough. Can Kansas State bounce back after losing last week at home to TCU, or does Oklahoma State continue the winning ways here? And it's only -1 here. Kansas State -1, and the over/under is 56.5 right now. These are just opening lines here. These are opening lines. Obviously, lines will close. Obviously, as it comes closer to game time for these games. Tennessee and Kentucky, I think that's another big SEC matchup game between two ranked opponents here. Number 3 Tennessee and number 19 Kentucky here. Obviously, Kentucky's probably going to be a little bit overmatched here, obviously here, but doesn't mean that they can't be competitive. They can't be competitive here. But Tennessee, they're a different. They're a different ball club, and they got a good draft class coming in next year. So they're trying to build upon this here, and try to compete against Georgia and Alabama, and prove that it's not always a Georgia Alabama 2-horse race in the SEC. We got the Michigan State game. Always a great game here. I know Michigan is favored to win by 21.5. The over/under is 54.5. So I mean, you never know what's going to happen between those two teams. Even though Michigan is the better of the teams and should take care of business fairly well. We got Ole Miss against Texas A&M. I like that game here. Ole Miss is -2.5. We're gonna see how Ole Miss. We're gonna see how Ole Miss actually reacts to. I mean, they got beat pretty bad against LSU, and so Ole Miss is favored -2.5 here, and the over/under is 55 points. We have TCU taking on West Virginia. I know West Virginia has not been a good team all year. But mark my words, this could be upset alert. All written all over it here. A team that nobody expects to do anything. And, TCU is a solid team. But could they be in for a letdown, That's the thing. That's the things you got to understand in college football or any type of games. Let's take, for instance, last night. There was a lot of upsets that happened last night. And the Bears beat the Patriots. That was an upset. You had, obviously in hockey, a lot of the Canadian teams win. The Penguins lost. You had the Ottawa Senators winning. We had some teams that were underdogs win, and especially in NBA as well. You had the Bulls that were heavy. You had the Spurs. I think even the Nuggets were not. No, Nuggets weren't underdogs. It was the Trailblazers were underdogs, and they actually won. So I mean, and then you had the Raptors. They won by 8, so they were underdogs that won. I mean, it was just a day for the dogs. So I mean, I don't know. Definitely a game. I love TCU as a team this year, and we have an over under 69 points. So I mean, but I don't know. Then we have Wake Forest, number 10, Wake Forest here, or we'll say number 11. Wake Forest here taking on Louisville here, -4 here. I think this is going to be a tough game here. I think, last week Wake Forest was in a tough game against Boston College here, but they were able to overcome it in the second half. But they can't let that happen with a Louisville team because they'll. And then we have number 8 Oregon taking on Cal here. Oregon is -17 here. I mean, Cal's obviously, they're a team with a fight here. They gave Washington, the Huskies, all they can handle here. So I mean, but Oregon's a different kind of a beast in my opinion. So I think Oregon should be able to take care of business. But, another game, you don't know what might happen. Maybe Cal does pull an upset there as well here. We have Cincinnati. They're number 20, taking on Central Florida. Central Florida's -1 here. I like that game a lot here. And then we got number 25, South Carolina and Missouri. I think this is an interesting game here. Obviously, South Carolina is a tough team here. They have Spencer Rattler here. They're 5-2 here. And now you're up against a Missouri team that gave Georgia some hell. And so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, to see this game be kind of a. And then I marked down two. I marked down two games. I said, you know what? Let's pick two games. I mean, I'll obviously pick a couple more games that I do like here that aren't the big name games to kind of watch out for right now here. And the first one of which is Coastal Carolina taking on Marshall. Marshall is a really good football team, and I'm just a believer in those guys. And they've gotten the victory, and but Coastal is a good team, and sometimes you gotta get the sometimes you gotta get the goose when it's good for the gander, I mean, but Coastal, they've lost a game here, but I think that they're gonna be ready for this Marshall team here. Marshall is gonna be ready for them as well because Marshall took down James Madison. It was a pretty tough FCS school that just basically got bumped up this year here. So let's look at some games here. Obviously, some games people don't know. I mean, the Princeton Tigers here, 6-0. They're going up against the Big Bears of Cornell here, 4-2 Cornell here on Saturday. So I don't know. Does Princeton stay undefeated here in that Ivy League matchup here? We got the Fighting Camels of Campbell here, 4-3, taking on North Carolina A&T. The Aggies are 4-3. This game is one I wrote down as well that I'm probably gonna is the Fordham Rams and the Holy Cross Crusaders here. The Fordham Rams are 6-1 and the Holy Cross Crusaders are 7-0. Two teams that most people don't know who these two colleges are, and they're not watching these guys on Saturday. And but I think it's two tough teams that definitely got a real serious chance of getting aspirations of getting put into the FBS or the really get took to consideration as Hampton Pirates and Villanova. That's 4-3, 4-3. You got Rhode Island. This one's a good one too. Here, Rhode Island Rams. They're 5-2 against the William and Mary Tribe, 6-1. Both teams are fairly good here. Know how to play football here. The William and Mary Tribe. They're probably the better of the squad here. But no, I wouldn't count out Rhode Island. I would not count out Rhode Island. Then we got two teams that I like to bet here. The Merrimack Warriors here. The Merrimack Warriors, they're 6-2 against the Stony Hill Skyhawks. They're 3-2 here. Stony Hill was undefeated, and I bet them, and they lost. So they've lost two straight here. But the Merrimack Warriors, man, they've been pretty tough every time I bet for them. I feel as though that they're going to be ready to go this weekend here. And let's see what's in another game here. Oh, another game here. Maybe this North Carolina Central. The Eagles are 5-2, taking on Delaware State. The Hornets are 4-3. That might be another interesting little underrated college football game. Definitely Chattanooga, the Mocs, and the Furman Paladins here. Definitely gonna be another good game here that people should be paying attention to. Jackson State, the Tigers are 7-0, taking on the 5-2 Southern University. I think this is gonna be a good you know, HBCSU matchup here for the weekend here. Definitely the must-watch matchup of the weekend here. Going to be games be on ESPN 3 for those that definitely want to watch here. And a team that I definitely bet the Lindenwood. Lindenwood Lions here 5-2 here against the William Jewell Cardinals here. They're 0-0. I don't know. Obviously, they're not. They're just they're Division 2 or 3 school maybe. Then we have a matchup that I like to watch, but I think this is going to be a good one here between the Montana Grizzlies and Weber State Wildcats. Montana's 5-2. They almost beat the undefeated Sacramento State Hornets. It wasn't until they had to go to overtime, and the Sacramento State Hornets stung the Grizzlies. We had the Weber State Wildcats. Better known for their basketball and better known for Dame Lillard playing. Obviously, this one here, Northern Iowa, the Panthers are going into Southern Illinois to take on the Salukis. Salukis are 5-3. Northern Iowa's 4-4 here. Definitely a good matchup between two teams. Definitely, obviously, I don't know if they get any of these teams getting to bowl aspirations or just shaping up to get in the playoffs here, maybe. Another one here would be in the afternoon here. Is the Incarnate Word Cardinals are 7-1 taking on the Texas A&M Commerce Lions here that are 5-2 here. So definitely an interesting matchup there here. Tennessee Martin, they get to face Houston Christian, which Houston Christian, they didn't win any games last year, so they won 2 games, so they're actually winning. They've won a Super Bowl because they didn't even win 1 game last year. So, Robert, speaking of nobody winning games here, we got Robert. Yeah, Robert Morris here. Robert Morris, they're 0-7 here on the season here. Then we got the 5-2 matchup here between Illinois State, the Redbirds, and the North Dakota State Bison here. It's going to be a good matchup there. Then we got the Delaware Fighting Blue Hens, 6-1, taking on the 5-3 Elion Phoenix here. Definitely a good matchup. Lamar is 0-7 as well here. And that Sacramento State team, they're 7-0, taking on 5-2 the Idaho Vandals here. So definitely a matchup, And Abilene Christian here, the Wildcats 5-2, taking on the 4-3 North Dakota Fighting Hawks here. That might be an interesting matchup here. So far we have, Murray State is 0-8 here. So Murray State's 0-8. Robert Morris and Lamar. Western Illinois. Drake is 0-8. Good old Drake is 0-8 here. Then we have the Central Connecticut State Blue Devils. They're 0-7 here, and Long Island they're 0-7 here. So yeah. So definitely a I mean, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. Later on this week, maybe tomorrow, we're gonna write down the teams that have not got a win. The teams that have not gotten their first win in NCAA college football, FBS or FCS, and we're gonna try and pick one of those teams this weekend. One of those teams has got to get a victory this weekend, right? Right? I mean, the odds odds say, I had 8 teams last week. I picked 8 teams last week in the NFL. I put the Commanders in there, I put the Panthers in there, and I picked the Raiders in there. And all 3 of those teams, they won. And I was telling you to fade those teams. But, those teams, they have hope. It's not like these teams are going to just lay down and get the shit pushed in. I mean, just look at the Bears last night. They didn't just lay down and let their shit get pushed in. They did the put. So let's see what do we like today here. Let's look at today's today's basketball games here, and then we'll look at the hockey, see what we like here. Obviously, so we got $1 left here. So hopefully tonight here will be a lucky night that will, the last free play might net us some money to continue to bet here. So, all right, righty, right. Let's go with. All right, so we have the Detroit Pistons and the Wizards here. Wizards -6 here. Okay. Wizards -6 here. We have the over-under of 220.5 here, so. The Wizards, I don't know, man. The Wizards are a funny team. The Wizards are, they're truly a funny team, but so are kind of the Pistons. They're a little, not sure about too many injuries right now. There's for this game here, but some newsfeed action here. All right, Daniel Theis out here. He's not playing for the Pacers as of Wednesday. Miles Turner is listed as questionable for Wednesday's game. Jeff Green is listed as probable. He plays for the Nuggets. And Michael Porter Jr. is listed as questionable for Wednesday's game. Ooh, Devin Vesely here is listed as doubtful for Wednesday here. So maybe a fade. Maybe a fade here. Bogdan Bogdanovic will remain out Wednesday. So Justin Holiday out for the Hawks too. Quentin Grimes is ruled out for the Knicks here Wednesday. Darius Garland is officially out, so he won't be playing Wednesday. The Cavaliers, same thing with Delon Wilder. Shai Gillingsley is now listed as questionable here. And Otto Porter here, he's listed as doubtful for Wednesday. Scotty Barnes is listed as questionable. Jayshawn Tate here, he's on track to play Wednesday for the Rockets. Okay. Melton's. Mo Wagner won't play Wednesday, so we'll see. We'll see Bobo. We'll see Bobo. And then we got Alperen Sengun. He's been ruled out for Wednesday here. Or he's already been ruled out for Wednesday here. All right. Kyle Lowry. All right. So it looks like we don't have to worry about too many injuries there on either side here for the Pistons or the Wizards here. Wizards are playing at home here. I think both teams could put up some points. Could they put up points here? Could they take the over here tonight? I'm mostly an under guy here, and I like my lean is I kind of like the Pistons plus the 6 a little bit here, but also the under 220 here. But let's just say our lean right now. We'll lean plus the 6 with the Pistons. All right. We have the Dallas Mavericks taking on the Pelicans. Mavericks are 6. So we got 2 games so far that have had 6. And 218. I'm gonna go under here, just because of the fact that Pelicans don't have a lot of firepower, and I just think definitely it's got to go under 218 unless I mean, but that is just my lean and my hard read right there. I mean, then we have the Clippers and we have the Thunder. The Thunder that cover the 8 here, and 216 here. Thunder. I'm gonna. This is another game I might have to say take an under because Gidley. I don't know if he's hurt. If he's not hurt, I didn't see that he was. I mean, I saw the thing that said he was out. He had the so if that's the case, and Shy's banged up somewhat and this and that, I think. And we have the Warriors and Suns. Suns minus 1.5 here. I took the Suns earlier this week, minus 1.5, but against the Warriors. Against the Warriors, I have to take the Warriors on the money line here tonight. I have to. There's no ifs ands and buts about that here. There's no. I mean, I'm almost in a way I might even have to lean. I might even have to lean taking Pistons here to make something here, but we'll take the plus 6 here there. All right. Then we have hockey here. We have the hockey here tonight. The Wild here. And the Canadians here. The Canadians here. I mean, did the Canadians beat the Wild here? I mean, Coyotes here. I mean, does Coyotes have a. And Penguins here. The Sabres and the Krakens here. I mean, good old Sharky here. I mean, Sharky's playing at home, and Vegas is playing on a back-to-back here. So I don't know. I don't know if I like that too much here. So maybe we go crazy. We bet the Sharks here. We bet Sharks here. Let's take the Buffalo Sabres here. And mm, mm, and we have the Canadians in there. Let's see if we can. We'll, well, even if we don't like something here. Like the Pistons here. I don't know. The plus, we can just do we took we took four hockey here. All right, so far we took two unders here. Money line, money, money, money. So now, well, it's gone down here. Now it's gone down to plus 5.5. So 220.5. I don't know. Maybe it goes under. I mean, maybe it goes over here. I don't know. Let's say it goes over here. I'll be the jackass that says the over here. All right. So we'll do that here. Oh yeah, that's right. All right. So how about we take out? Mm, let's take out the Canadians here. That way, 'cause I forgot I can only do that if I'm gonna. All right. So our multi-sport bet today's is NBA and hockey. So we went with the under 220.5 points. Pistons, Wizards, and under 218.5 points. Points in the Mavs, Pelicans here. And then the under 216 points between the Clippers, Thunder here. We have the Warriors money line here. Warriors money line plus 104 here. Then we have Chicago Blackhawks money line plus 189 here. And we have the Buffalo. Sabres here. Sabres money lines plus 110. And then we have San Jose Shark here. San Jose Sharky here. They're going up against Vegas. That they're the Vegas on a back to back here. So we're gonna try and try to take advantage of that here a little bit here. With certain teams that are on a back to back here. So we will definitely try to. All right. So put our dollar in here and we cash out at 208.33 here. All right. All right. All right. So that goes there here. So that's that here. Let's look at some early lines here. Let's look at some early lines here in the NFL here, and then we'll get some parlays here. We'll get our player prop parlays here that we would like to get into here, and then we'll end this show here. Okay, so far we got Baltimore is minus 1.5 here on the point spread here over the Buccaneers. 45.5 points is the over under total so far. We have a London game, boys. Another London game, boys. London boys. Between the Denver Broncos and the Jacksonville Jaguars here. The Jaguars are minus 2.5 here. Obviously, Broncos are the underdogs. Does Russell Wilson play? I don't know. He's questionable. I doubt he's gonna play. It's gonna be the Rippin show again, I believe. And he didn't do too terrible, but he didn't do himself any favors here. The over under is 39.5, so be careful of that. Cowboys are minus 9.5 here, so Cowboys got to win by 10 if you're taking them on the spread. Over under is 42.5. The Raiders are minus 2 favorites on the road against New Orleans here. 49.5 is the over under. The Falcons actually are the favorite here at home, minus 4.5 here, and 42. Eagles minus 10.5 here to beat the Steelers here. Over under is 43.5. Dolphins and Lions. Dolphins are minus 3 road favorites here. The over under is 51.5. Vikings minus 4 at home. It's the Cardinals here. Over under is 49. Patriots and Jets. Patriots are minus 1.5 right now here. And that to me is curious right now. To me, if I'm somebody right now, I'm taking the Jets here. I'm taking the Jets here. I know they might be a wounded duck here. I'm taking the Jets, and I'm taking the over 40.5 points here. Because I think there's going to be points here. I think there's going to be points scored here in this game especially. Especially the way the Patriots played, the way the Jets are coming off here. It's making for one of those good games. Then we have the Tennessee Titans against the Houston Texans. Tennessee is minus 2.5 here. Over under is 40.5. Then we have the Giants. Again, the Giants are road plus 3 again against Seattle. And I mean, I understand Seattle's got, Geno Smith playing well. You got that young man, Kenneth Walker the third here. But I mean, I don't know, man. Giants are playing really well. They're playing really tough football here. I expect it to be more of a closer number, but 3 is not a bad number. Definitely 3 is not a bad number. And we have the over-under is 44.5. So then we have the Commanders and the Colts here. Colts are minus 3 at home with Sam Ehlinger at the quarterback for the rest of the season. Over under 40 here. I think I would take the over. Then we have the afternoon games here with the 49ers taking on the Rams. Niners are minus 1.5 point favorites. 43.5. And then we have Green Bay. Green Bay and the Bills is Sunday night. Bills are minus 11 here. The over under is 47.5. And then Monday Night Football, we have Bengals and Browns here battle the AFC North. And the Bengals are minus 3.5 here. I like the minus the 6.5 last week. I don't mind if this game gets a little bit closer. If it's more of a 3, I really do like Bengals even more. But we'll see. Over under is 46.5 here. So, all right. So let's look at some prop here for tonight's basketball game here. We're gonna. All right. So we got Cade Cunningham Need to have a higher, lower 19.5. I mean, he's been on there. He's been on a tear here. He's had 18, 15, and he had 22. So expect tonight here to have him have a big game here. The Pistons are to win here. And then you have Jaden Ivey here. Jaden Ivey here. I mean, his points, he's had 19, 17, 17. So I mean, they're giving him, and he's got what, 4.5 assists, and 4 rebounds. I mean, does he get rebounds too? Shit, he had 11 rebounds last game. The majority doesn't have. I mean, so we'll see here. And then you have Bojanovic here, Sadiq Bey, and Isaiah Stewart here. Then we got Jalen Duran here. This guy, see, this guy's cash for me because I took his, I think it was his points. I think I took his points and his rebounds. Last time, so and he only gets like 21. He only gets like 21, 22 minutes a game. So his numbers are fairly low. So I mean, if I was to take something on him, I'd probably definitely take lower than 8 here, maybe 8 points. Killing Hayes, they have a 3-pointer here. I mean, like I said, he doesn't get many points, but so that's why for him to hit one here. Bradley Beal, no 3-point props for Bradley Beal here. Chris Chips they have. He's had 2 blocks here, so for him to have 2 blocks here tonight against Detroit, I think he could probably have that here. And Kyle Kuzma here. Let's see about Mr. Kuzma here. Kuzma had 2 blocks here, so steals they want. He's at 22, so I mean, I wouldn't be. I mean, what's his point? 17. And yeah, Mont. He gets about 21, 26 minutes. If he gets 26 minutes, he generally scores a lot more here. Over 10 points here tonight here though. I mean, maybe. I mean, I think it could definitely happen here. Ooh, we got Rory. And we got Denny. Denny have a steal? Yeah, he had 2 steals. So maybe we take Denny. Denny gets a steal here. I mean, obviously he had 10 rebounds one game here. So he had 2 the last game. So then you got Luca, Christian Woods here, Mr. Christian Wood. I mean, I definitely like this on a back-to-back here. I mean, he's had a block here, so wouldn't be. I wouldn't mind taking his block prop here. So maybe we take Christian Wood to have a block here against the Pelicans. That's definitely one. That's definitely somebody I definitely like. CD McCollum here. And you got Trey Murphy here. All right, Trey Murphy's he's gotta have to have a game here. He had 16. He had 16. So, and he had 9 rebounds. He has. Well, he played 39 minutes last game, so yeah, so he played a lot of the game, so he's gonna. I say we'll take a chance on him. Since the Pelicans are kind of on a Norm Powell, Dort. Yeah, this Robinson, Jeremiah Robinson. He had 15 points here. So let's take the. I say that he. I say there's a chance he gets more. He gets higher than that here tonight. I like that one. So far we got 3 here. Chef Curry on the props here. He had 2 blocks in Sacramento. Yeah, he's had a block here. So let's go that he has a block tonight here. Take Wiggins on a block here. And last time Wiseman cashed here. Book gonna cook? Is Book gonna cook here? Mm. Jock Loudon here. He had 10 rebounds. He could have over 4 here. He had 17 minutes. When he plays 10 minutes, he got at least 2. When he played 14, he didn't even do 14 minutes. He's have that. So I wouldn't see why not. But he does get in foul trouble, so I don't know. Might want to stay away from that one here. What about Cam? Eight, 10. Yeah, 16 and 18 here. That's why they. He had 15. So the Warriors he is higher than. We'll take Cam Johnson to have higher than 11.5 points here. We'll take Wiggins to have a block. Jeremiah Robinson Earl have 9. Trey Murphy to have 14.5. And Christian Wood to have a block here. So that is the prop bets here. Well, let's read over the team play here, the multi-sport parlay we have here tonight. We're taking the under 220.5 points between the Pistons and Wizards. We're taking the under 218 and a half points in the Mavericks and Pelicans. We're taking the under 216 points in the Clippers and the Thunder. We're taking the money line with the Warriors. We're taking money line with the Chicago Blackhawks. We're taking money line with the Buffalo Sabres and money line with the San Jose Sharks here. So those are our plays, and obviously our player bet prop parlays right now. These are our leans so far. We might change them a little bit, but I like Christian Wood to have higher than a 0.5 block. I like Trey Murphy tonight to have over 14 and a half points because it's basically just CJ McCollum, Valanciunas, and so Jeremiah Robinson Earl. So I think he can have over 9.5 points. At least to have 10 points here tonight. Wiggins to have at least over half a block here, and Cam Johnson to have over 11.5 points here tonight. I think it definitely can happen here. So those are definitely my plays here for the day. So yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So now that we took care of the robot porn, robot love, whatever you want to call it, but yeah, that's our bets for the day. We're gonna talk about more tomorrow. We have waiver wire Wednesday, pickups that we need to make for our fantasy team. We'll talk about our fantasy team, what we got to do to fix some of our fantasy teams, and what we can do to add to help our team. Um, so we'll be we will be back tomorrow.